Yo, what's up, guys? WQQQQRT here, coming at you with a little vlog. Fresh. Actually, maybe we'll make it a big vlog, because I learned some powerful stuff today. As you know, I can't really play or run Link of the Past recently because my back, I'm having these like really bad back problems, I'm like doing like 100 push-ups a day. I'm doing like 100 million sit-ups a day, like really working out and get ripped. I'm getting really ripped, and that's cool and all, but I can't play it in the past, and it's like it's look at me. So I do a little weekly race today, just for fun. Do a little weekly race, and then I lost the race, and I was really fucking sad about it. And it's a 3-second difference, which isn't that much. But the problem is, I just kind of threw it the whole way through. I got really anxious about winning. I got really anxious about the end, and I panicked and I kind of fell apart. Now I like to be a respectful loser or winner, good game. But truthfully, as far as the win or loss goes, whatever, it's just a weekly race, so you can't really care too much. But my performance is not matching what I know I can do, and I'm really upset by that. And I mean, this is always how it's been, right? This is how it is for everyone. It's this like you want to win, you get anxious, you're too focused on the win, you can't focus, and they fall apart, right? And this happened again like about a month ago, actually. That's why I spawned this idea of macro natural gameplay, where it's like my gameplay is based on the ego. It's basically my gameplay is ego based on a macro scale. I was able to extremely alleviate that on a micro scale in the past few months, and for like specific rooms, specific interactions, and that was nice. That's good. Actually, I improved a lot. My movement got a lot better. I'm playing way better. It's wonderful, but on a macro scale, it's still kind of lacking. It's very much lacking. This is the second race, so I've kind of just thrown it away. And actually, it's probably like a 500th race, but it's the second race. In recent times, it like clicked me. It hurt. And so I'm thinking, and recently, this is part of the reason it's the whole like opportunity, this idea of opportunity is so like groundbreaking for me, is because this is the start of macro natural gameplay. This is the first real tangible idea I've come up with that looks into macro natural gameplay, which I really do strongly believe macro natural gameplay. It's not a solution, right? I'm not solving anything. It's not gonna gimmick me free wins, guys. But what it is it starts to look at and target my ego on winning. Why am I getting anxious? Why am I making bad decisions when I get anxious? What exactly is going on here? And I realized, like, I lost this race. I'm crying. Literally, my heart was crying. And I realized that, and I went on a run. Or afterwards, I'm trying to be athletic, so I go on a run. And then as I'm running, and then as I get home, and I take a shower, and then what I realized is that winning is actually an unnatural process. It's not a natural process. It's not recreatable. It's not tangible, right? It's an output. It's the true output. It's like really the only output. So winning itself, you have to. I'm not saying you have to discard winning, but what I'm saying is that it's an unnatural process. And I thought about this, not too much, but I thought about it a little bit more, and I'm even going even further, because sometimes winning is a natural process. Sometimes it actually is recreatable and it is tangible, and it doesn't fluctuate, but it varies. It varies highly, and it depends on the circumstances. And I think this is a problem with these macro game situations. They're very intangible for the most part, but they can be tangible. And I think, like, for example, I raced these two people the other day, and then they both forfeit in the middle of the race. This win for me this is a tangible win. This is a recreatable, tangible win, right? And you might be thinking, well, that's not recreatable, right? But the circumstances are recreatable. As an input, it is recreatable. That's interesting, right? So in those circumstances, I can freely win doing whatever I want. There's no anxiety, right? There's no anxiety when it comes to winning in that aspect. So, that's actually, I think that's interesting. And I think that's another problem, is like what happens a lot of times is I think people kind of neglect that, and I also think it's the same reason why using input-based solutions is so powerful. And I tweeted it out, but when I lost this race, and I wanted to make a ton of output-based solutions, and one of the output-based solutions I come up with is, for example, a lot of people do this. You lose the race. I'm really anxious. Okay, so how can I win a race in these circumstances? How can I improve as a player to win the race in these circumstances? Using an output-based solution. This is what people are doing, and the obvious answer here is to be calmer, or play safer, or don't try to force the win as much, right? These are output. They're still output-based solutions though, because the problem is it's still around this idea that you deserve the win. The win is recreatable. The win is it's under your control, right? Well, this isn't true. It's the winning in the sense is it's not tangible, right? Most of the time, I do think again there's certain stances, and same in Melee or in League, where if you're so much better than an opponent and you beat them on autopilot, the win becomes a recreatable. It becomes a tangible thing, and so this anxiety, it doesn't come up, and your gameplay doesn't have to change, right? Your gameplay doesn't have to be malleable, right? And it's like that's why that's the importance of output versus input. If you create these output-based solutions, or I need to be calmer, again, it's a response. It's a reactive response-based solution, and so it will. I do think the player can improve. But ultimately, I don't think they'll improve at all. I think it's made up, you know. And I mean, this is something that I was doing. And actually, what happens a lot of times is you will change your results, and so randomly next tournament you will do better, right? But then the tournament 6 months later you do much worse, where the player's not actually improving. They're just changing their results, and their results just become more variable, or they become the same amount of a variable. And I'm saying if you create natural, recreatable input-based solutions. You actually will improve as a player. You can improve as a player. You will improve as a player. I think that's a huge difference and highly valuable. And that's actually, I would say today is one of the very first times I've ever done this. I've ever tried making input-based solutions. And where's my input-based solution? Let's think about this. And this is the whole point of this vlog, actually. Basically, my argument for natural gameplay: don't create solutions or don't create natural gameplay based on output. You have to do it based on input. Go back to ego theory. How do you do that? Well, the ego says that, this is actually the ego. It says that you do create solutions based on the output, right? That's what the ego is doing. So, in natural gameplay, solves that ego, and how it does it is you play the game and you pick solutions based on what you think you can do, rather than based on results. Because again, if you create solutions based on results, this is when these solutions, they're not tangible, they're not recreatable, and this is when in these situations like that race, they come back to bite you. And again, you can't recreate it, you can't control it. And I think a lot of this goes back into the win. And you know, if there's a situation where the win is free, of course it's recreatable, of course it's tangible, so it's not really a big deal. Now, and I think that's another problem. It's part of the problem of the ego is like you ignore it. You just ignore it. And if you use the results to determine what you can do, of course you would ignore it, because then you win and then you move on. If you win it 100 out of 100 times, who cares? You move on, and you actually might improve over that. You might get worse too, but you know, it doesn't matter. The output-based player who's playing his gameplay of ego doesn't care. So that's why I go back to what can the player do, and this is actually a kind of a challenge for me, because I have to like reiterate it every time I make a vlog, and actually every time you play the game, because I was talking about opportunity in my last vlog, but I was thinking, and in my run I did earlier, and this is why I need to play Link to the Past so much, why I want to. I realized opportunity, it's coming down to every single interaction I do, every single screen, every action. There's an opportunity for me to succeed, because my whole gameplay for the past several years has been entirely, or almost entirely, me wanting to get a result and then use that result to prove that I'm good, right? That's what the ego is, and that's what unnatural gameplay is. And it's the same with the win. You want to get the win and then use the win to prove that you can succeed, where it's irrelevant. And the thing is, that's why I argue that you need to figure out what you can do, what you 100% feel like you can do, and then always act on that. Because the thing is, if you feel like you can do something, it's always recreatable. This is gold, and this is why I'm going back to this whole. And this is what macro natural gameplay is. This is what it is, because, and it came from opportunity. I realized yesterday or 2 days ago, this is why opportunity doesn't work. It goes deeper though. Look at the win, and look at how the win is not recreatable, right? This is what macro natural gameplay is, because if the win is not a tangible thing, if it's not a recreatable tangible thing, it's an unnatural process, we have to discard it. Suddenly you can't play for the win anymore. You have to throw it away. You have to throw it out. And I know all like elders and like people try to give you advice, and like I know Daigo, he was talking a lot about it. Ignore the win, throw the win away. You can't focus on winning. You have to focus on the gameplay, right? I mean, fundamentally what he's saying is focus on the input, don't focus on the output, right? But how do you do that? How do you do that? And you can't just go into a game and then try to not focus on the win. It's not going to work. You're going to fall apart. But I really do think if you really truly understand the gameplay at a high level, it'll naturally happen to you. And we're about to find out. We're about to find out because as I play Link to the Past, the more I play, and Melee too, actually, because again, it's the same in Melee. And my friend does this a lot, where he always nair shines. He picked up Falco some time ago. He's not a real Falco player, right? But he always nair shines because he likes practicing the nair shine. He does it in games, and this is a problem of opportunity, and it's a problem of output-based gameplay, because every time he's in neutral, he sees this as an opportunity to nair shine and practice the nair shine and learn about the nair shine. Well, that's exactly the problem, because he keeps forcing it. And again, it's this problem of opportunity where it's like it's not recreatable. It's not recreatable fundamentally, right? And I'm saying you have to do everything that's recreatable. How do you do things that are recreatable? It's exactly what you feel like you can do, right? And that Link to the Past game I did, that one run, guys. I thought my gameplay was capped out at about 70 to 80% of my gameplay. I was at my gameplay cap. 70, 80%. I think that's good. I was saying like 10 to 15% a few months ago. And now I feel like I'm at 70, 80%. After that run, I honestly think I'm about 1%. 0.01 to 1%. 1% would be like, if I was playing perfectly, of my gameplay cap, of my current gameplay cap. That's really what I think. Because I'm going into the run and I'm like, every single interaction, I'm like, I use this as an opportunity to succeed. Every single interaction, every single half the strats, I'm like, I actually don't think I can do this. Half of my strats I do. I don't think I can do consistently, confidently. I'm not confident I can, right? And again, I'm going back to the win. If you're confident that you can win, like truly confident, and I might even throw the word confident away. I don't like this word. But if you think you can win, if you feel like you can win, great, great. But whatever, it doesn't matter. If you don't feel like you can win, though, well, why would you force it? Why would you try to force the win? It's pointless. Even if you can try to force the win, even if you can win when you don't feel like you can win, it's irrelevant. This is what macro natural gameplay is. This is what opportunity is. It's not recreatable. There's no meaning. There's no need, right? And I think competition comes down to that. It comes down to this, like, I think people like to see who's gonna win in these tight scenarios when it's like dead even. And I think usually the better player does win, which is really fun. And you have to ask, like, who's the better player? But I'm saying it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, And maybe we'll find out more. And actually, I do think we'll find out more. But how do you fix this? So that's a big question. I'm asking. And I really do think it's do what you think you can do. So then I think what happens is the next step. And I'm not certain about this, and I don't think I'm gonna play Link to the Past for like another 2 weeks. It could be a few days, but I'm guessing about 2 weeks. I'm not gonna play the game. So, but I think it's important for the player to clearly outline and clearly define exactly what they feel comfortable doing. And I think movement at a very, very high level, at this level of macro, natural, and natural gameplay in Link to the Past, what happens is you have to figure out exactly what you feel like you can do and then optimize it. You just optimize it for frames. You optimize it for the simple speedrunning stuff, like not losing time and, So, and actually, I think it goes even more interesting because now break it down to competition where you have to hit one frame tricks because there's no alternative. You have to hit the trick or it's over. So, and you see that a lot in Melee too. And maybe there's something interesting there about competition that I've never considered, but I think, and actually, truthfully, I don't know, but that's definitely something I'm gonna have to consider because honestly, truthfully, I don't know. But guys, I will say a few things. I learned some other stuff in this run I did. I'm like a huge supporter, and I argued heavily that like if you understand, or depending on how you understand a process, then you're basically like you're a slave. You're a slave to your ideas, right? So it's like I'm half of my arguments are understand something differently. Like if you truly understand something differently, then you'll just play differently. Like it's not even forcing yourself. You have to play differently. In fact, I can't play. Like if I can truly understand these ideas in the next few months, and this is going to happen in the next few months, my ideas and my gameplay is going to evolve so radically. I can't play like I used to play. It's impossible. It doesn't make any sense, right? So I'll just never do it. And actually, I'll go even more deeper. I think that's why people choke. I really do think people choke and they throw away and they do all these dumb things that they know they shouldn't do because it doesn't make logical sense. I think people actually do it because that's how they understand the game. They actually think that's what they should do, and they just never have considered that it's obviously wrong, or they never like really thought about it, and so they keep doing it, right? And again, it's this whole like ego thing where it's like you make excuses, you lie to yourself, you develop gameplay that'll lie to yourself. You know, you don't run. It's like there's a whole list of it, a whole list. But I think the player truly does believe in it. I mean, for example, if I'm in a tight race and I'm like, can I win or not win? I'll pull up the other person's stream and I'll look at it. This doesn't benefit me in any way. It doesn't help me in any way. It distracts me. I get nervous, anxiety. But I honestly really do think I'm at a benefit. And in reality, that's how my brain works. And I'm saying if I can understand the game differently, like truly understand it differently, I'm a slave. I'll never open another stream again because it's irrelevant, right? And I noticed a lot of that in the run I did. Is I was oftentimes I'd go into a screen and be like, okay, I have an opportunity to succeed here, and I'm like, you know what? I actually don't feel comfortable in this strategy, and I know opportunity equals disaster, so I just didn't do it. I just refused to do it. I think I'm faster. I think I'll play faster if I don't take if I take 0 opportunities in a run. I think I'll play faster. I think I'll get better runs overall. 99%. 99 to 100% of my runs will be better. The only difference is they wouldn't be better is RNG. If you took 100 tests, if you just took 100 examples of me taking every opportunity, me taking no opportunity, and then doing some kind of mixture, I think no opportunity would win out every single if you did 100 variations. I think it would 100 tests of 100 variations. No taking 0 opportunities would win out every single one with a standard deviation of RNG, or so you could it's either that or you throw the deviation away, and it's just they would win out every time. I really do think that. So yeah, so a lot of these scenarios in the speedrun, my gameplay is already changing. I mean, I've only done 2 runs in the past week, and my gameplay is already changing based on how I think. So I'm literally not practicing. I'm literally not running the game, not watching people play the game. My mind is not focused on the game at all for the past week, maybe 3 days, maybe a week and a half, I don't know. But my gameplay is literally changing. My gameplay is literally already changing permanently, and this is a recreatable thing. This is a recreatable, tangible thing. Exactly what natural gameplay is. I'm already coming up with new ideas. Again, I think my gameplay cap right now is about 1%. It's about 1% and maybe 0.1%. I think 1%. Honestly, I think 1% is fair to say. So I think it's about 1%, and there's so many things I need to practice, I need to think about, I need to redo. I need to do 1,000 runs in a row right now just to get my gameplay, get my gameplay, like, it doesn't make any sense. My gameplay is terrible right now. It's not even terrible because it's like unpracticed or anything. It's terrible because it's like, it's all over the place. It's not prepared. It's not prepared, right? I haven't practiced the game for a while. I need to refine it. I need to refine it, right? So that's gonna happen whenever I start playing, and I'm pretty hope. I at least hope, because the truth is, you never know what's gonna happen. This could all be making no fucking sense. But I think I'm about 80% certain. Everything I'm saying, I think is about 80%. I'm confident on. And actually, I mean, even in that race, I almost died in one boss, and I didn't die, and it was a disastrous outcome. But I thought about it, it's like I was thinking about it, it's like, guys, like the truth of it, and I'm going back to this race. Me losing this race, I'm at an advantage. I'm at an advantage because I lost this race, right? Because my weaknesses are exposed. It's an opportunity for me to learn, and maybe opportunity comes up. I wonder. I haven't thought about that. I actually do think. I wonder. Now I wonder because I'm saying it's an opportunity to learn. Well, isn't that a bad thing? Because and I don't know if I've talked about this in the vlog. I talked to a lot of people, and I've told several people this, but opportunity. The whole game is opportunity. Every time you start a run, it's all opportunity. Every frame is opportunity, right? The act of doing the run is opportunity. So there's like ego game. It's like there's gameplay output derived from the ego based on opportunity, and then there's like natural opportunity, right? There's natural opportunity, and we'll call it ego opportunity, right? So ego opportunity is bad, and then natural opportunity is good. And natural opportunity, I don't know if good is the right word because it's a static thing. It's always, everything's opportunity, right? It's an opportunity for everything to happen at any point. So I think it's when the ego gets tainted in there, now it gets fucked up. So my question is, how do you get past these ego traps on a macro scale? And I mean, I've actually already talked about it in this vlog, but again, I think it comes down to do what you can do, figure out what you can do, and practice that. But I'm wondering, I want to go deeper, guys. I'm really wondering, what are more macro level strategies here? What are more macro level ego problems that I'm running into, that every player's running into? What are they? Where are they? What are they? How are they affecting my gameplay? How are they affecting everyone's gameplay? This is the stuff I'm really curious about. I really want to know. And guys, I'm going to end this vlog with with an idea I just came up with. I just came up with a pretty crazy idea. Yo, what's up, guys? Look, I really just came up with this crazy idea. And you guys might not be looking to change your life right now, but I might just change it for you. So, get ready, guys. But I just realized, and actually I thought about it, it's not that big of a deal. So if you have a reason for something, it actually makes that thing more recreatable. For example, let's say you're walking home and a friend stops you and says, hey, let's start talking, right? And then you and a friend start talking, and you don't really want to talk to your friend. You want to go inside, and you're in front of your house and talking, and you're like, I don't want to talk, I want to go inside, right? But you don't have a reason, so you just keep doing it, right? Now, obviously, you should have gone inside, obviously made an error, blah, blah, blah. This is what happens in games, right? I should have done this, I didn't, my ego, I'm an idiot, But if you have a reason to, for example, let's say you have to leave at 6:30 and it's 6:15, well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what, feelings or ego, that goes out the window. You literally don't have to go, and you leave. So it actually, it makes it more recreatable, it makes it more tangible, makes it more recreatable, these interactions. And this is happening in the video game world too. It's happening in the video game world too. It's not just happening in real life. And real life situations. It's also happening in the video game world. And that's interesting because I'm saying that you develop gameplay skills, like fundamental gameplay skills. And actually thinking about it, the very first bit of gameplay theory I came up with in 2013 was about fundamental gameplay basics. And what I'm saying, I'm coming back, I abandoned the idea completely. 2017, I'm coming back to it. And I'm saying you have fundamental gameplay skills, and then as you learn the game, you develop these fundamental gameplay skills. And there's a gameplay map, and it needs to be targeted. And if you can target those fundamental skills, what happens is you'll get significantly better results. How do you bind those skills, right? It's through understanding, because if you come up with an idea for something, you can make it recreatable. This is fundamental. This is like fundamental learning 101. They don't teach you this stuff in school either. I'm teaching it right now. And I don't know, but Bruce Lee, he made a quote about water, like whenever, he lived. And I love this quote, but I never could figure it out. And I tried breaking it down a lot of times. And honestly, I'm not really sure what's going on with this quote, but, it's the whole like, become water. Water will fill a teapot. It'll fill a large 3-piston power dildo. It'll fill, a kettle, it'll fill a cup if you put it into like a barrel or something. Bricks won't, rocks won't, nothing will, right? But liquid will, water will. So this has become water. And what I think, I see how I interpret it, what Bruce Lee said about water, as I interpret it, it's the same exact thing I'm saying about input output. It's identical to natural gameplay. But it's also kind of identical to this whole understanding thing where if you start playing a game day one, you can't actually become a top player because your skills aren't good enough. You can't move the controller properly, or you can't move Mario properly or whatever. But if you practice a lot, your skill level you can. And I'm saying what unnatural gameplay is what the ego trap is. What the ego trap is, the ego will pretend, because they have this mechanical skill, because you will always develop fundamental mechanical skill, or it's easy to attain if you just practice. But there's no reason behind it. So the gameplay ends up being really bad, right? And then they use their ego to cover up the weaknesses. Where I'm saying, if you can just find out a tangible reason to fix, improve, target your gameplay, make your gameplay more targeted, you'll actually improve instantly by a lot, and it subverts the ego. That's what natural gameplay is. Natural gameplay is that process. That process is happening on a micro scale, it's happening on a macro scale. That's exactly what it is, right? And little doggy behind me. You can see that. Funny one of those like Japanese dogs. So what I'm saying, this process of natural gameplay, this is so important though for this. It's so important. You have to bind your gameplay through the understanding. It has to be logical. It has to make logical sense. And it doesn't have to be a reason. If you have a reason you do something, great. But if it's the wrong reason, your gameplay is not going to make any sense. And you're going to be forced to do it. So it has to. And that's why I advocate looking at the logics of it. That's why input-output theory works, because it's logically true. That's why, there's no reason to give up. There's no reason to give up. I've never seen a single reason to ever give up. Makes no sense. So that's easy. That's a step. You can go from there, right? If you say, okay, I can't make any mistakes. Making mistakes is bad. I can go from there. This isn't true. This isn't necessarily true. If you were playing really fast, and Link to the Past is a really, really good example of this. A lot of people say it. But if you do 10 menus very quickly and you mess up one time versus doing 10 menus slowly and messing up 0 times, well, messing up 1 time is faster. So, you're wasting. You're basically just throwing. You're throwing it away. You're not profiting on that at all. And actually, what's going to happen is you're going to develop gameplay that doesn't make any sense. And that's not even that example is not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous or crazy. It's actually pretty realistic. Happens a lot. So actually, a lot of my gameplay, why I have better PB than most people, it's little stuff like that. There's nothing I do in Link to the Past that's not tangible, completely tangible and recreatable by anybody. People with 128s could have my PB. Maybe not my PB, but they could have 124. If they had my understanding of the gameplay with their mechanical skill, they'd have a 124 instantly. 2 days. 2 days to 2 months, I don't think 2 days would happen, but over a period of a few months, they would drop down that quickly. Anyway, guys, I had to make that point, so I'll see you guys later. WQQQQWRT coming in here. Kind of a new speedrunner, new Melee player coming in the woodworks. I'm just coming hard and hot all the time, coming out with these crazy vlogs, crazy ideas. And I'll see you guys later. Also, guys, if you want to see anything, if you want to discuss anything, have any ideas, or maybe I should make a vlog on something, why not? Throw it in the comments. Throw it in the comments, say, hey, make a vlog on, I don't know, where the fuck you're playing. Like, Street Fighter, for example, the RPS elements in Melee, where the fuck it is. I play enough. I watch enough games. I know more about gameplay. I know enough. I can just start talking about anything. So I'll see you guys later. Yo, guys, I thought I was done. Hell no, I ain't fucking done. I forgot. I was talking about the Bruce Lee water thing, right? This is so important because Bruce Lee's basically saying, be water. You can pour water into whatever. Try to pour rocks into a cup. It doesn't work, right? But that's what people are doing. They're pouring their rocks into a cup. They're breaking the cup, and then they're gluing the cup glass around the rocks, and they're saying, look, it's basically water. Even though they have the same volume they have the same mass of the water, right? It's identical. It's just that what they're lying about how it fits. It doesn't fit right, and they're lying about how it fits. That's what the ego shot is. It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. So, because when you start out, you just don't have enough mass, basically. Basically, I think there's more to it. It's just an analogy, but you can't just put the rock into the cup, lie about it fitting when it clearly doesn't fit, and then ignore it, and just say, look, it works. It's close enough. It's a good enough imitation, even though it's fake. Obviously, it's fake. Anyway, there was more to that analogy. Cause I think that's a really interesting analogy, and I did make a vlog on it like a year ago, but I might make another vlog on that analogy, why I think it doesn't work. But again, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching my vlog.